part of the solution, you part of the problem. You did bad, homie. You did bad, homie. If you're not part of the solution, you part of the problem. You did bad, homie. You did bad, homie. If you're not part of the solution, you part of the problem. You did bad, homie. You did bad, homie. If you're not part of the solution, you part of the problem. You did bad.
You already know who it is. It's your boy, Ron Burgundy, Mr. Unapologetically Ignorant. You know the motto, if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. This ain't the fat mother effer to mess with you.
You already know who it is. It's your boy, Ron Burgundy, Mr. Unapologetically Ignorant. And you already know, if you ain't part of the solution, you're part of the problem. This ain't the fat mother effer to mess with. Yeah. We ain't always going to see eye to eye, but as long as we all come together, hit that like button, subscribe, and share, we going to be all right. I promise you that. But check it, man. Like I told you, man, just a regular individual. It's okay to be human. Just somebody who's been around extraordinary people and did extraordinary things, and this is my story. But today, we're going to talk about a very, very, very sensitive topic for a lot of people. You hear it all the time with a lot of podcasters and individuals who change their life when they say F the streets. So a lot of you people may, it makes people ask you, what do you mean F the streets? You was just, so that the title of the video is, what do you mean F the streets? Because what do you mean F the streets? Wasn't the streets just everything to you when you was up? Oh, now that you go to jail and you face real consequences and you understand that you weren't utilizing the streets properly, that it's F the streets. No, it's not F the streets. It's not F the gangs. It's not F that. No. And hey, again, I did bad before by saying that, and I was enlightened, and I was awakened. I sat down with the forefathers of the universe, you know what I'm saying, as I call them, my OGs, you see what I'm saying? And we had a nice conversation. They made me see things. It's like, it's not F the streets. How can you say that when the streets have gave you this mentality? If you weren't in the streets, you would have never been able to understand the streets from just an outside perspective. You have both points of views, from the street perspective and from the outside. Now you have to build understanding for that. And don't confuse the youth and tell them F the streets, because they're going to look at you and say, what do you mean F the streets? Nigga, you a legend in the streets. That's how I know you from being in the streets. So we can't confuse the youth with these messages and these things that sound good. It sounds good, F the streets, but let's be for real, homie. And I'm going to be for real. If everything else for us in my life and my family needs it, guess where I'm going to be? In them streets. And that's for real, homie. I don't have to hurt people to be in the streets. There's people that sell weed in the streets. You see what I'm saying? Your barber's 9 times out of 10 in the streets. You got to understand there's different elements. And when you understand the streets, you'll know how to utilize them to get to where you want to be in life. Because that's there. The streets are always going to be there. The gangs are always going to be there. That's not going to change, brother. That's never going to change. And if we think it's going to change, we're delusional. And we got to get out of that state of delusion and stop with the, back to Africa, they're too tough. You know what I'm saying? We got to get off that 48 laws of power shit and get and talk to our children like grandma used to talk to us, like uncles used to talk to us, like granddad used to talk to us. Remember how, they used to have conversations with us? I used to do little puzzles with my grandmother, the word searches, and she used to tell me about things in life. You see what I'm saying? What to look for in a woman. You see what I'm saying? And again, I lost track of that, but I found it. You see what I'm saying? And this is what I want to get across to the youth. It's not F the streets. No, because if you go out there and you make music that represents the streets, it's part of the streets. You see what I'm saying? People come from the street background. They come from it. You see what I'm saying? It's what you do to when you get out of it. You see what I'm saying? That's a lifestyle. It's always going to be there. Just like you can go be an athlete, or you can go be a doctor, you can go be a lawyer, you can go be anything else. You can go be a street nigga too. But see, the only thing about the street nigga shit is there's no pension plans. Yeah. You have a high rate of death, high rate of going to jail. There's too many, I don't want to say negatives, you see what I'm saying? But there's too many things that go against what the goal is. You see what I'm saying? And I don't knock anybody that's in the streets. I got friends still in the streets. Homie, I'm not too far removed. We're talking under a year removed from the streets. You see what I'm saying? Like, in a whole nother state. Yeah. Anyway, But it's not F the streets, homie, because the streets taught us a lot. You see what I'm saying? The streets taught us a lot, homie, and then all the lessons may have not been good, but if you took the ones you were supposed to be and you were around the right people, like the real OGs out there, the ones that run the streets but tell their children to do yeah, there's nothing wrong with what Jeezy did. You have individuals in our neighborhoods that raised athletes that was in the streets. I don't want to get into the names and specifics, but if you're from Long Island, these are things that I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell you who has, you know what I'm saying, 2 basketball player sons. I don't have to tell you who has another NBA son. I don't have to tell you who kids what. We know Long Island. You see what I'm saying? We know. That's all we need to know. You see what I'm saying? And I will be shining light on these people. I do have some great interviews with real street legends coming up really soon. Y'all better stay tuned, because if you miss this, you're not going to understand where my point of view is coming from. And these people are going to help me reinstill it with what they learned from making the mistake that cost them everything. Because when you go to jail for the amount of time that some of these individuals have, you lose everything. The people who you would thought were your friends. See, these are the downsides of the streets. I'm not here to tell you F the streets. Because you know what? At some point in my life, and most of my life, I love the streets. And I still do. I just know they're not for me. See? That's just simple. They're not for me. Now, hey, they may be for some people who know how to do what they do it smart, get out. I wasn't one of those individuals. When I got in the streets, I was in the streets. You see what I'm saying? As much as I talked and I preached about getting out and doing, I was distracted. It wasn't, again, the streets weren't for me. This is what's for me. You see what I'm saying? And I had to go through what I had to go through in order for me to get to this point. So I thank the streets. I thank those streets for everything I've learned. You see what I'm saying? And like I told you, I was one of those people who said F the streets plenty of times. But it's not F the streets, homie. It's not F the gang life, homie. Because those things are there for a purpose. A car has one brake pedal, one steering wheel, one gear shift. It has one gas pedal. You see what I'm saying? It's just for a reason, because it all comes together to work as one functioning thing. And that's what the world is. The streets are always going to be there. Gangs are always going to be there. Drugs is always going to be there. Sex trafficking is always going to be there. Unaliving is always going to be there. These things are always going to be there. But it's on us as individuals who are in the streets and learn that the streets are not for us to come out here, tell our story, and hope it inspires people to say, you know what? Damn, I don't want to go through that. What you mean they threw piss on that nigga cuff? He couldn't do nothing? No, he's a bitch. You're cuffed, nigga. You can't do nothing. I don't care who comes up here and tells you they got it on with the police, homie. They didn't get it on with the police. They didn't. They got beat dog shit down their leg by police, homie. They might have got one off. I done got mine off too, homie. But I got scars from this shit. Pain from this, PTSD. I can't even see one of them niggas and I start veering off the road. I get nervous. I start shaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got traumas, homie. And then when you're not doing nothing, that's the crazy part. When you're not doing nothing and you still feel that way, it's the worst. So again, I'm not here to tell you F the streets. I'm not here to tell you F the gangs. I'm here to tell you, I did that. I did this. It wasn't for me. This is why it wasn't for me. This is what I learned. You see what I'm saying? Yo, listen, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to lie to you, man. And anybody who's been into a drug program, drug rehab, or anything like that, any type of ART, and don't lie to me. Don't get on here and tell niggas you never did it, because it was one of the requirements for you to come home from prison. ASAC, ART. Some of you niggas up there was program directors of that shit in a dorm thinking you was police. But we're going to get into that. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? Anybody who's ever been through that understands they tell you one thing in that. And once you grasp it, it kind of helps, man. Keep it in the eye. Tell people how it affected you. Don't tell it how it affected Diddy Bo and these people. Tell them how it affected you. This is why I don't want to just do a documentary on Mousy. I don't want to just do a documentary on Freedom Born. I don't want to do just a documentary on P.I. I want to have conversations with these men. Tame. I want to have conversations with these men. I want to understand their mental, you see what I'm saying? I want the world to understand and the youth to understand, what their mentality was when they made the decisions and why they think differently now. You see what I'm saying? Like, Everybody doesn't have to be a street nigga to be a legend that I want to interview. Even if you never ran the streets, but you've been running a business in our community for 20, 30 years, if you know what I'm saying, whatever you're doing, man, you see what I'm saying? Like, I've had some people reach out in the background. We're going to get things going. But let me tell you this, man. I'm going to leave you with this. It's never F the streets, especially if you ever ran them streets and them streets bought you Jordans and whatever it did for you. Some of you niggas wouldn't even got no hiney if it wasn't for the streets and gangs. Yeah, if it wasn't for streets and gangs, some of you niggas wouldn't even be relevant. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to leave it at that. It's your boy, Ron Burgundy, Mr. Unapologetically Ignorant. And remember, man, it's not F the streets, homie. It's F the way we think.